violation of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution.
No, I did not know that.
You did say that.
Okay, well, like I told you, I'm not a huge Trump supporter. I think he's an asshole. I just think he runs shit like a business.
Currently alive right now. The city runs like a business. And
Yes.
the economic policy of Donald Trump.
He is running the country way better than the Biden.
Okay, give me a specific.
Look at, I just told you one. I told you one in the beginning of our conversation. I said, go ahead and look at the S&P. Look at NASDAQ.
Okay, now I'm asking for the policy that he's passed.
Look at a policy that he's passed. Well, he can't pass policy
Yes,
because
he can.
how's he going to pass policy?
He signs into law.
Okay, and you guys complain about everything he does. And the thing is that
You
without
don't even know what he's
changing
done. You literally don't even know what he's done. You don't even know what he's done. What are you talking about?
okay, you're going to turn around and you're going to tell me that I don't know anything about that.
Just tell me. What do you like that he's done?
I like
And
what
an
he's done.
economic policy.
I like that he's supporting basically controlling our borders.
Name one way in which mass deportation benefits our economy.
How does it? Because there's no benefits going to people who don't deserve them.
There are no federal benefits that go to undocumented. And also, undocumented immigrants pay over $100 billion in taxes.
State benefits are lost in the federal government.
Yeah, and again, they don't take out over $100 billion in state benefits.
And there is one thing I would support for kids. You want to get into that conversation about how the Democrats don't support kids?
Well, Trump specifically is not supporting kids on that. They use the bill which cuts $20,000 children on average every single month.
The ABSO bill was already passed.
By Trump. Yeah, Trump signed into that law. And it cuts 420,000 children off free school lunch or breakfast on average every single month.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes, it does.
That still stands.
It's from the Congressional Budget Office.
No, that still stands.
That's from the Congressional
Everybody
Budget
gets,
Office.
but it's okay. So let me ask you this: so you can get free breakfast or lunch if you're rich. Why is that?
No. What do you think? What? No, you
Yeah,
can't.
I'm a teacher, man. Come on.
No, you can't. Where can you get free school lunch and breakfast?
California.
No, you can't. I live in California.
California.
Yeah. I didn't qualify for free school lunch and breakfast. What are you talking about? What am I? Why did you just feel that? Like you guys are so obsessed with California. I think you guys, you know how you say we have. Wait, hold up. You know how you know how hold up. No, I'm not. I've got none of this from the computer. You guys just have CDS. You say that we have TDS. You guys just have CDS.
I'm gonna keep
But
bringing
it's
my
with California. You have CDS, bro. You're obsessed with California. You have lies about California. Because you are literally like a buzzword for Republicans.
There's no income disparity. They don't sit there and say if you make over $100,000 a year, you can't have a free lunch. They give everybody free lunch.
No, it's not. What are you talking about? I literally went to California. I went to school in California. What are you talking about?
You're not in California.
I live in California right now. And I also went to school in California. I've been living in California for over a decade. Okay? I did not get free school lunch and breakfast. What are you talking about?
Give me credit for being bright for your age, for your show. No.
How are you going to tell me I didn't pay for all the food that I paid for when I was at school? What the fuck are you talking about?
College?
No, when I was in high school and when I was in middle school.
You didn't pay shit.
What do you, of course my parents did. I was in fucking middle school and high school.
Okay, that's a newer law that was supported by Democrats. I believe it was
What are
actually.
you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That was just a law that exists everywhere.
It was just recently put in.
No, I didn't qualify. I didn't qualify for the free school lunch and breakfast. You said everyone qualified. What are you talking about?
You come from a wealthy family.
My dad is a doctor.
I got it. Okay. Look, I can tell you right now because the new policy is out there. And it came from Biden or it came from Obama. Basically, what stipulated basically it was free school lunches. It would have made Trump look bad if he had changed that law.
Okay.
He didn't take. It's like, okay, I'll give you another.
I'm not saying
Essentially,
no.
filibuster.
Trump,
That's why he's not going to
listen,
filibuster.
Trump did the big beautiful bill. That's what he did. And that affects children's access to preschool lunch and breakfast. Why are you kidding off the fact that you literally just said in California, well, everyone gets preschool lunch and breakfast? But I literally live in California, and that's not the case.
I'm telling you right now.
Like, why did you feel the need? No, seriously, why did you feel the
Did
need
you go
to
to
lie?
private school?
I went to public school.
Oh, shit. Wait, so you probably went to private school, and that's why for your lunch.
The only private school I went to was when I went to pre-K when I was like
I
4 years old.
guarantee you to go to public school, they pay for your lunches, and in high school it's different.
I went to public school. I went to public school, and I did not get my lunch paid for. That's a lot.
You choose to get pizza, or you choose to get pretzel with cheese, yes.
No, I don't really know. There was nothing that I could have bought that was free.
I don't know.
Other than water, there's nothing I couldn't get food for free.
I mean, I'm gonna agree to disagree, and I'll take
What do
it.
you mean agree to disagree? I went to school here. What are you talking about? Agree to disagree? You live in California?
I told you I was a teacher in California.
Okay, then you're just lying. You're literally lying. Why are you lying about your own state? You know it's not true.
Elementary school?
Dude, I know both the teachers. It's not true.
Elementary school.
Yes, I know teachers in elementary school. My girlfriend is a substitute. She goes to elementary schools all the time in California. What are you talking about?
I'm just trying to help you understand.
No, wait, no. Just tell me what you believe that. Because again, that's just not the case.
As I told you,
Like literally, my friend's a substitute and goes to different elementary schools in California. And literally, there's nothing that's worth breakfast across the board. You're wrong.
trying to help you. I told you that there are some things that one pizza, which comes from outside vendor.
Wait, again, not everyone qualifies for free school lunch and breakfast across the board. There's an association. Is it more expensive? Yes.
If you choose to eat the pizza or the pretzels, then no, it's not. But if you want the veggies and the shit that nobody wants, then of course they pay. They pay for everybody to eat junk food, right? So if you go to jail, do they pay for food?
Well, I'm saying we should. Wait, I never said that we shouldn't necessarily. Hold on, listen, you're misunderstanding my position. You're misunderstanding my position, right?
I don't think I am. I don't think I am. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. We take care of people in jail or prison, and we pay for their food. You're gonna tell me that they don't do that for elementary school kids or certain foods?
Of course, they have not. No.
Okay.
I mean, elementary kids is again different.
I mean, look, some of my policies, you and I would actually agree on. I'm against the prison system. Okay, so like, there are areas that float in that don't work, absolutely. But a lot of it is bullshit.
Wait, you know what? I'll give you this. I did just see this. There is a universal meals program that exists now in 2022.
Thank you.
2023.
Okay, so
I don't know if it's continued to now. That might have just been during COVID, but for the 2022 to 2023 school year, it did do that. For those
Okay,
years. I don't know if it's still in case right now.
Okay, so look, this is not a meeting by I think that there are certain things that we would agree with. Certain things we disagree.
By the way, I graduated in 2010.
I would call myself a moderate right.
Was it just during the pandemic, or?
No, it's continued. I promise
I
you.
mean, do you think that's a good thing?
I'm not kind of like, yeah, of course, the kids need to eat that.
Okay, so then why do you support Trump who's cutting children off?
Not.
The big beautiful bill cuts, listen, the big beautiful bill cuts 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single year.
How many million people live in the United States? 7 million.
420,000 children on average every single month. Are you not sure of those 420,000 kids?
Well, is that the ones with money?
No, but this is typically made it harder for people to get access to the work
Look, I'm not-
for food stamps. So it would be and also why would that matter? We don't have kids.
It doesn't matter. Because the thing is, it's coming from the house,
But it was
so
not
$1
because of a
million a
change.
year.
This is not.
Will you say that the people that
This
make
is not
certain
because
amount of money?
this is not because of a change in income.
Okay, so what are those?
It was a change in work requirements, not income requirements.
I'm gonna help you real quick. Okay, I'm gonna explain where I'm going with this. Okay, so you basically said that the last caller, the last person you were referring to, that basically you put more money, should pay more taxes.
Yes.
So now you're turning around saying that because they're a kid, they deserve free lunch. I don't believe that.
Are the kids making money? Like, I'm confused.
It doesn't matter because the town should be taking care of them. If not, then somebody should be taking care of those kids and looking over that
Okay,
case.
wait, then again, we talked about that a second, but the other thing that I think is that if you need it, you give access to it. Just cuts kids off that need it.
I don't know that that's okay.
It is true.
Unfortunately, there are kids that are going to be cut off that do need to do right.
Yeah.
But what I am getting at is that Democrats are just as responsible, just as guilty as Republicans are. And I don't think
Because the big beautiful bill was passed by Republicans, not by Democrats. Democrats did not vote for the big beautiful bill.
okay, thank God you're so young. And I'm going to give you this. I've been through a divorce before. You ever seen a divorce attorneys like go against each other? They will fight for their clients. They'll go back and forth. And they'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to get that next person. I'm going to get your opponent." But then they turn around and they go get a fucking drink of alcohol out of the gun because they're really working together. Don't think that our Democrats and our Republicans are doing the same damn thing.
No, Democrats.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, they are.
No, so I think there's a lot of division in this country right now. And I think that the Democrats and Republicans are not doing that because they're not even answering the phone to negotiate the government shutdown right now. That's just wrong. Okay,
One side of the house, the lower house, the upper house is still in session. And the upper house is where the pristine Republicans are showing You're telling me that basically the lower house is not showing up to work because they're basically saying, hey, we're not going to agree with what your demands are? Isn't that, okay, we don't agree with terrorists.
No,
We don't
want to
sit there
negotiate. And also, yeah, Trump
don't
does
negotiate with
negotiate.
terrorists, right?
Trump literally does negotiate with terrorists. Trump negotiated with the Taliban, for example.
No, Biden did. He gave up Afghanistan. I was there. So
That was Trump. That was Trump that signed that agreement.
okay, what he was going to do is he was going to pull out.
Sorry, that was Trump that signed that agreement.
Listen to me. He was going to
He said that we don't negotiate with terrorists except for when it's Trump.
Okay, some policies that were going to be distributed in this listen. Okay, policies were that there were still going to be certain people that were going to be in the country. There were certain people that were still going to be in the country. There was rules, there was negotiations in place.
Oh, so Trump negotiated with terrorists.
Yes, you're going to negotiate with terrorists. You want to make it work. Okay, but
Okay,
consider.
so you just contradicted yourself.
I'm telling you, the policy of the United States is we don't negotiate with terrorists. That's what the policy.
So then Trump is not engaging in a policy of the United States. Trump is making his own policy. So that doesn't sound very much American first, right?
No, I would agree that sometimes America does not contribute to this.
Okay, so you're not America first.
No, I didn't say I agree with that. I didn't say I agree with that.
Yeah, Donald Trump puts the rich first.
I think he's about the rich first.
Yes.
But you just told me that as a doctor. So why would you not agree with the childhood that you grew up with? Because I'm sure that you had a lot of.
Because I would have had a good childhood growing up, even if we had higher tax rates than we should have.
Would have or you do?
I would have.
I would have been fine.
Seriously, at the end of the day, I would have been fine. My parents would have been okay, right? If we had higher taxes to ensure that everyone was taken care of, that would ensure that everyone in this country is taken care of to a greater extent. I'd still be okay.
So what's wrong with trying something new? We want to try before it's broken. And I think it's broken on both ends, Democrats and Republicans.
And also, by the way, I just want to say, I live in California, so that when it comes to big doctors and stuff in California, we pay a significantly higher tax rate compared to the rest of the nation. What you actually should be paying at that level. The issue is with the billionaires, listen. The issue is with the billionaires who make their money through the context of investment, they pay lower effective tax rates because of capital gains tax rates. The doctors, the lawyers, right, they are paying a high effective tax rate, especially in the context of California. They pay their fair share. But the people who are not paying their fair share are the execs, the top of the companies, the investors, specifically, right, the business interests. You are not paying that fair share. The doctors and the lawyers are paying their fair share. They're working people. Doctors and lawyers are working people.
Look, all I'm telling you is I think that, and I gave my policy. I already told you what I think. I think that everybody should play that flat rate. Whether you want to say 90% or 12% or 13%,
That's not enough to run our government. That's not enough to run our system.
I just, look, I think there's other alternatives out there. And I think we need to look at other alternatives because what we've done has not worked. We have 50% of the country that disagrees and 50% that do agree. So let's find something that basically we can move this out.
Okay, so if you want to get this country to agree more, you want this country to buy more, don't support prices of people like Donald Trump. That instead of violence,
I told you that one.
or in Blackberryjuice, you can't do
I was putting it on.
so. Obviously,
I already told you that.
so you wouldn't vote for him if you could go back in time, Kamala Harris, right?
No, I disagree with that. I think it's way better than Kamala Harris. You keep on repeating that. Okay, like, if I mispronounce her name, I'm sorry. But
Let's say her name. I did.
sure. Okay. Well, I don't understand why. I mean, maybe you're a douchey person too. I don't know.
People care who how you pronounce it. I'm sorry, you don't take every disrespectful or mispronounce it. No, you gotta start out when you've been corrected so many times, right? It becomes a good.
Yeah, I'll call her when I have a really easy last name. I'm not sure. I have a really easy last name.
But by the way, my last name gets messed up all the time. I understand people mess up their names unintentionally. What I'm saying though is if you intentionally know why would you do it correctly on purpose?
I'm not doing it on purpose.
Okay, then that's all I'm saying. Just clarify.
Okay. So anyway, I think actually if you like actually sat down with me, actually there's a lot of policies we agree on. There's a lot of policies we actually agree. Like the major policies that we've done.
You're not answering my question. Why is Kamala Harris worse than Donald Trump?
Because of the financial aspect.
What about the financial?
Dude, I think that she would have triggered, because she wants to take care of people basically who can't really. Okay, so let me ask you this. So baseball. Do you watch baseball?
Everyone.
Okay, so should everybody get the same amount of money, regardless of what team they are?
I think
Or should it not make more money than somebody else? Because, they perform better, they have more, people that
I
are
have no issue with people
When
making
more
different amounts of money. I still believe in capitalism. What you're not understanding, I think everyone has an obligation to society to love them to a certain extent.
Okay. So what I'm getting at is if you're a better performer in this book, I think that basically you should get more money.
I think you should pay more taxes. You will make more money still. You will make more money. Unfortunately, you should pay more taxes.
You talk to me about trickle-down economics.
Trickle-down economics is a joke.
Why?
Because there's not like an incentive for employers to pass down that profit to their employees unless they will profit off of passing it down to their employees. So there's a natural trickle-up aspect of the economy that will increase wages alongside productivity. Since trickle-down has been implemented in the 80s, we've seen wages stop increasing in productivity because there's not as much of an incentive to pass down that money that you specifically need to the employees.
Okay, so you're telling me, so you want America to have more money, at least in America first, right? Is that correct?
I think, yes, in the sense that
Okay.
we'd say that's like America.
I'm not a business owner, but let's say I was. Let's just say I was a business owner. I turn around and I own a business, but I make tons of money, but I give it back to my employees. How do I give that money back to my employees without getting taxed?
If you're being taxed at a higher rate than your top marginal tax rate,
No,
that gives you, that gives you more of an incentive to pass it down to your employees because you save whatever your top marginal tax rate is. Because when you do a tax write-off, from an employer perspective, you save your top marginal tax rate, so you would have otherwise paid that in taxes. So it creates a greater incentive to pass down that money to your employees. This is about
I know a little about finances, and I hear where you're going with that, but I think that if you give more to your employees, you can have better employees who perform better because you're making more money.
So I think you'll be able to
Because you're not paying more taxes.
You will make more money. You will make more money if there's more people that can buy your products. Right? So if society is doing good as a whole, there's a good working middle class, and if there's a strong labor market and a strong consumer market, then you're going to make a lot of money from a business perspective. Again, a natural trickle up element in the context of the economy. But if all the money is condensed specifically to the businesses and the millionaires and billionaires, people in the consumer class will not have enough money to be able to afford the products.
We're talking about supply chain. And look at Apple for example. Just because of Apple and the demand is so high, if it goes too high in prices, guess what happens? Nobody can buy it. What do you think is going to happen with these businesses that get taxed more? They have to charge more for the product, and then nobody can buy it.
So again, if you're talking about the taxing board makes them pay more in terms of consumer products, and you wouldn't support tariffs that Donald Trump supports. The other taxes that we're talking about specifically have less of a proportional level of increase in terms of cost of consumer products and cost of production, because the tax is based on the profits you take out, right?
But
Not
that's not
on
about
the cost of production.
All
Tariffs are a tax on this. Tariffs are a tax on the cost of production, whereas specifically the taxes that we're advocating for are a tax on the profits you take out in terms of income, in terms of capital gains. Those are the profits that you take out of the company after taking into account cost of production.
So let me ask you this. So if basically tariffs, in my opinion, and I think we have a different philosophy, and yes, there's negatives that come from tariffs, I agree with you. But there's also positives. If you go to other countries,
Consumer products prices.
yes, I agree with that. I agree. But if you turn around and you go to a different country and you basically charge tariffs and you say, if you import your product to the United States, we're going to charge you a tariff. That brings money to the government, which in turn, if you have a good leader,
Who pays the tariff? Who pays the tariff?
it will be in your debt.
Answer the question, who pays the tariff?
The people do, because the thing is that people are going to pay the basically anybody who purchases the product.
Okay. So the American consumer base. So if you want to address the debt, why do you reduce income tax to replace that with tariffs? Then back to consumers.
We produce more.
Listen. People are lower income spend a bigger portion of their income on consumer products. And if you increase the cost of specifically the tariffs, you're going to cause an increase in the cost of consumer products for American consumers, which will increase the access specifically for working class Americans to a proportional amount of rate. Compared to income tax, the more money you make, the more you pay.
Do you want people to work more?
I would, of course, would like people to have jobs to a greater extent. But if you want that to happen, then you should advocate for democratic policy.
You think so?
Yes.
Democratic policy is going to get you more workers.
Yes, literally. Like the infrastructure bill, the Chips and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, a large investment, manufacturing and real protection, a large investment in manufacturing investment in the country, that increase in terms of buying nurse nutrition, it led to an increase on the nutrition.
Right. So my policy is to give people free handouts for popular work. And I think a lot of democratic policies where they're very kind and generous applaud people who aren't going to work hard. So my point is this. My point is that if you give too many handouts, there needs to be a balance. Okay, so I'm not against SNAP. I just think it needs to be done on like a 6-month policy. Basically, you review whether they're looking for a job, you look and see whether there's like certain conditions that are being met. So I'm not heartless. I'm just making the simple point that basically there's certain things that you need to do to qualify for certain policies. Like being a legal citizen.
So again, also you got me to go on to the next person for a second.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I apologize.
No, it's okay. You don't put on this. That's just the dog show. Now, in terms of this again, I think that you can invest and advise people to get jobs and get employment, like you should do so by restricting their access to food. There's already work requirements specifically that do this. In terms of what you already advocate for, this already exists. So you're not applying anything actually for that. Yeah, all right. Is there anything else to say before I go on the next version?
No, you're a great debater, man. You have a bright future, man. I totally think that you're a good debater. I don't have anything in front of me. I'm sitting in the backyard drinking a beer. So, best of luck to you. I appreciate the debate. Thanks for keeping it friendly.
So the next individual wants to ask questions. Meet that to the criteria to listen to TikTok stream. We are looking for debates. Valerie, thank you so much for being for $5. Thank you so much. Molly, thank you for $10. Thank you. Hannah, with $3. I really appreciate it. Thank you. London for $5. Janelle, thank you so much for $2. Anonymous with $1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the stats. Mackenzie, thank you so much for $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Katie, thank you for $10. David with the $20. Thank you so much. Jordan with the $20. Thank you. Ashley with the $25. Thank you so much. Marisa with the $20. Thank you. With the dummies for them in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. Natalie with the $5. Thank you so much. Siri, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. $20. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Marin with the $50. Look at the dummies for Marin in the comment section right now. Bernard with the $20. Thank you some super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's absolutely so kind of y'all. Make sure to include part of the general. Kenzie with the $5. Mark, she does Mark with the $5. Thank you. Sharon with the $5. James with the $10. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. DK with the $10. Marks against Darkness with the $10. Thank you. Hunter with the $20. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Hunter. DK with the $5 as well. Marks against Darkness again with the $5. DK again with the $20. Thank you so much. Nino with the $5. Marks against Darkness again with the $5. On with the $5. Fish, thank you so much for $10. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Lars with the $20 of Venmo. Thank you so much, Lars. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You can go for Lars for comment section as well. Thank you. What's for me is always Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of YouTube, as well as it's for me over YouTube Super Chat, as well as the pinned comment on the YouTube. Actually, I didn't know if I added that today. Let me see if I can go do that real quick. Actually, I forgot to do that. For the next individual, like everybody. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. By the way, if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up and also make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're less than 4,000 subscribers, away from 400,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is fucking crazy. So if you want to support everyone, that's a great way to do so. We're like the 6,000 people on the stream on TikTok and the 3,000 people on YouTube. That would be great. That would be great. Okay, what's up, Holly?
Yo. Thank you.
You support Donald Trump?
Yes, sir. Donald Trump 100%.
Okay. And what's your birthday?
05.
If you could go back in time, you said you vote for Donald Trump, so why do you support Donald Trump?
This is the goal, and you're a fucking idiot.
Let's go to the next individual. Only sending us your questions. We need that's the criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are looking for some debates, everybody. Let's go to the next individual quick. Only sending us your questions. We need that for the criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Let's go to the next individual, everyone. Alrighty. To the next individual. Alrighty. Let's go to the next individual. Only sending us your questions. We need that for the criteria listed on the TikTok screen, everybody. Yo, what's up, Holly? You give it a second, everyone. Yo, thank you so much for the spooktacular. Thank you so much. I really appreciate Jacqueline. So the next individual, only sending us your questions. We need that for the criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. User, yo, what's up, Holly?
19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birthday?
2006.
Hold on.
March.
Okay. If you could go back in time, you can either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Why do you support Trump?
It's fuck you.
Okay. Was that it? They just left? Okay. All right. Okay. You what's calling you? Okay. For the next individual, everybody, only sending us requests if you need that to the criteria listed on the TikTok screen. You what's calling you? Thank you for coming here. Thank you.
Hi, I am 38.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
You can go back in time if you could vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I would vote for Donald Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Why do you support Kamala Harris?
Well, because she's a preferable candidate, she advocates for tax cuts for working class Americans, whereas Donald Trump advocates for tax increases for working class Americans.
For Americans, right? Americans.
Yeah.
Not for illegal immigrants, right? For Americans.
Yeah, none of these policies
Right.
are undocumented.
So I'm asking a question: is it for the Americans or for illegal immigrants?
So what,
Answer
for
that.
immigrants or no?
The healthcare that she is for. Is it for Americans, like you had said, or does it include illegal?
No federal health care funding goes to
Answer.
undocumented. No federal health care funding goes to undocumented immigrants. outside of situations of emergency healthcare, which applies to everyone.
What is
as it is.
emergency healthcare?
This is supported by Republicans as well. If someone's dying on the operating table, they're not going to check your immigration status prior to saving your life. They're just going to save your life.
Okay, I understand that, and I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah.
Everyone should live, but that's not what I'm asking. Like, current issues we're having with the government as a whole, right? Republican, Democrat, is healthcare. And one of those being healthcare for undocumented people.
Well, undocumented immigrants do not qualify for health insurance in this country. So none of the policies
But they are
specifically.
wanting them to. They're pushing
No,
for them
actually,
to
did you know that the big beautiful
qualify.
Did you know that the policy doesn't mention undocumented immigrants or illegal immigrants at all? Nowhere in the policy does it mention them.
Okay.
Secondly, thank you.
You go on this and people are looking at me, like checking my LinkedIn.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just think it's funny. Either way, I did vote for Trump. I supported Trump. Do I agree with Trump currently? No, I don't. But do I think the other side, and this has been, no. I think we need to do complete turnaround in our government. And that's my opinion.
So you don't want Trump in office?
Now, no, not the things that have happened and occurred. No.
Okay, so to clarify, if you go back in time, you would vote for Donald Trump on online votes. Who's your other candidate?
I wouldn't vote for either, really, honestly.
Well, I mean, I'll take that. The different answers that we heard earlier, appreciate you coming out. Hopefully you can change your mind if you can think of the left as a better option. But I'll take that. If you hit that thumbs up if you're on TikTok, tap that screen, hopefully that's more people. Thank you so much for $20. Thank you so much, Jack, for the $10. Thank you for your $5. Thank you. You know what's healthy?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes. Well, I am Australian.
Okay. Well, we got to debates everybody who people who think that's the criteria listed on TikTok stream or the thing that you live in the United States and develop here. Elizabeth, thank you for $5. Thank you so much. You know what's healthy? You know what's healthy?
Huh?
Yeah, do you support Donald Trump?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yes, I do. And I was kind of going with what that girl was saying. The first time, what was her name, Ashley or whatever? The one you were just talking.
I think so. I'm not quite sure. I didn't really know. No, I'm not really sure of the names.
No, but yeah, I think hold on one second. Stop it. No, I support Donald Trump because, like, I mean, and I'm a low income person, you know, but
Hello, can you hear me?
really sorry, I was getting a call.
Yeah. So,
So far, everything, like, I support him and I'm a low income person. Like, I'm on disability because I have multiple sclerosis. And, like, I mean, I don't feel like what you're saying, like, just a tax stop and everything, like, that he's trying to do that.
well, prices are going up. It has placed your specifically pharmaceuticals, for example, which would impact people who rely on pharmaceutical drugs.
That's true. I'm not really, see, I have multiple sclerosis, and I'm more of a homeopathic person versus, like, the, like, medicine. I think the pharmaceutical industry is messing people over, and the doctors are too a little bit, you know, it's all a business.
So do you think that you know more than doctors?
I'm not saying I know more than doctors, but I'm telling you that doctors are just like you and me.
Okay.
And
well, doctors done research, right, and they have medical degrees in a specific matter, right? So obviously they would be able to make accurate determinations on what would be best for people's health.
Right, but let me tell you, like, I have that mass, and like, when I took the medicine, I was pretty chubby, and when I didn't, I'm not on no medicine, zero medicine right now, and I'm doing better than I was when I was taking their $100,000 medicine that they wanted me to take that they were giving me for free.
That might be the case in your individual circumstance. That I would not specifically about your individual circumstance. But obviously, doctors in general would determine what's going to be best for the individual. So people should talk to their doctor specifically to do specifically what their doctors say, because that's incredibly important information that they can take into account in terms of the health of their life, right? Because they can't judge that themselves. They don't really matter, and doctors specifically that are they can help. So I would say people should trust their doctors. They should go to their doctors, and they should have conversations. And if you have questions, you can ask them. And your doctors will answer them all the time. So like, they're always willing to clarify. At least in my understanding, my experiences with doctors.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I get it. Trust me, I know that doctors do know, you know what I mean? They know stuff, but I also feel it's a money-making business, and they're scamming a lot of people, and there's things out there like, so that was what I wanted to tell
If
you.
they were scamming people, would they get medical malpractice lawsuits?
No, because it's as an industry. Like, as an industry, though, like, what I'm telling you is, like, the people that are higher up than you, like, all these people that are super high up, like, they figure out, like, hey, you know what? This person has a multiple sclerosis, or this person has diabetes, so this is how we're going to give them medicine for the rest of their life to keep them, you know, at bay, but like it's gonna harm them. Like you tell me, the multiple sclerosis medicine, like the baclofen and the Lyrica and all that stuff, that causes numbness and tingling. But MS is numbness and tingling in certain parts of your body. So why would you take something?
So,
You know, and I go through that with my neighbor all the time.
So I'm not to say that there's no side effects with any medicine for specific prescribed, but the doctors indicate that the risks specifically are going to be outweighed by the benefits. That's why specifically they're going to be predicted for some people, right? It wouldn't make sense to give me medicine to treat that because it wouldn't be the case that the risks would be exceeded by the benefits.
No, but I'm telling you, like, if I have multiple sclerosis and my legs are, like, when I first got it in 2015, my legs were tingling and whatever for like 6 months. And they gave me baclofen. And baclofen, if you're on it for more than 6 months, causes numbness and tingling of your limbs. So why would they give you a medicine that causes that?
Well, that's something you should talk to your doctor about, right? Like, I wouldn't know specifically like why the doctor is prescribing you with a specific circumstance in relation to your individual health, that specific drug, right? That's something that you need to have a conversation with your
Well,
doctor
that's what
about.
they give
Not
to,
offer a good job on TikTok Live.
no, I'm listen, I'm just talking.
No, I understand us having conversations with them. I think that those conversations are best with the doctor to answer, especially when we're talking about the really just denying doctors in general, like we specifically talked about earlier, and doctors and medical science in general. That's specifically going to lead to misinformation.
Well, I didn't say I
and
didn't
people
talk.
engaging in a greater distrust of health professionals when they should be trusting health professionals. Because they do
But I
actually
did
have
not.
good information.
But I did not say that I didn't believe in science and medical findings and things like that. I said that. No, I said that I think that like it's a money-making industry, and they're choosing to pick things that keep people paying for it. Like if you go to Canada, right? Like the medical field is messed up, right? Because it's all free. Everyone's healthcare is free. But I had a guy, I was in New York.
Yeah, but let me just clarify. If they could cure someone, and you specifically were decided just to give them like symptomatic medicine specifically, right, and that they knew was going to harm their health to a greater extent, they would get medical malpractice lawsuits. Okay, that would cost more than the amount that they would profit specifically by trying to sell on those things. That's what we've created in the context of our law system to ensure that there isn't that type of profit incentive specifically to engage in such behavior. We have mechanisms set up to establish behaviors to reduce that happen. That's called medical malpractice.
Yeah, I understand, but a malpractice, probably you're not gonna, it's just, I'm just saying for me, because you asked me, do I support Trump or Kamala Harris, which I don't even know who's talking about her.
So the reason why we're talking about that is because I'm trying to get you to realize that you made the wrong decision, so that like with your future elections, specifically in candidate as similar policies to Congress, that you make it effective in that.
Yeah, but I don't feel I made the wrong decision. And even though the government's shut down right now, I don't feel that he's a bad, I don't feel that at all. And I have friends.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm trying to get you to a determination where you do understand that you made that decision. But later, I'm going to let you respond. I'm pointing out to your grabs, and I'll still be able to hear you because I have to.
Yeah, no problem. No, I don't feel I made a bad decision. I really don't. And I feel that for me, when you hear him talk or speak, I really do feel that he cares about the American people and that he cares about people. He's very godly. Do you believe in God?
No, I do not believe in God. Secondly, I think that I don't think he's godly. I think he's the opposite of godly within every respect possible. I mean, this guy has specifically cheated on every single one of his wives. This guy consistently lies all the time. He's a pathological liar.
I mean, I don't know him personally, neither do you. Nobody does, except for this. But I'm saying what he said to us, which I do.
He's also said that he's never asked God for forgiveness. You know that? He could name his favorite verse in the Bible. He said that he valued the New Testament and the Old Testament equally.
Okay, no, I did not know that. I just know that he made a speech that when he almost got assassinated, that he believes God has sent him here to
Obviously,
him.
he was gonna rip the God saved him and was to make money off of that, or get influence off that and power. But he doesn't actually believe that. Right? I think that's obviously if he did believe that, then he believes that God redirected the bullet into the firefighter that was killed behind him. Why couldn't God have redirected the bullet in the ground? God just preferred to kill the. God just preferred to kill him for no reason.
No, I didn't say that, but it's just like when my uncle died in 2015 of heroin, you know what I mean?
And why I think you can go to the next person.
Oh,
I apologize. You can come up on a future day and we can have a conversation. I just can't keep you up here today because to talk to you less will go off. Liquid. Hydrate. Alright, for the next individual, if you want to support me as well as my cash app, PayPal, to the bottom, as YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. You want some help?
Hello. 19 or 20, sorry, just turned 20.
For Donald Trump?
I do.
You can go back in time if you were going for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris.
For Trump.
Why do you support Trump?
Well, I want to first of all talk about the current situation, the most relevant situation in our country right now, which is the government shutdown is the most controversial thing right now. What do you think is the issue there? Why is the government not opening? And why should we keep the government shut down?
I think the government's not opening because specifically Republicans want to vote for the healthcare subsidies for the ACA and Medicaid, which was specifically, if not implemented and continued, is going to lead to almost a 70% increase in the cost of treatments for
Okay, so with that said, so the SNAP benefits are being shut down, correct?
Well, this is specifically because of the interpretation of the Trump administration. If you use emergency SNAP benefits, which should be not.
Okay, so then you would say that the the Democratic representatives of our government are then forcing the hand of the Republican side to use emergency funds to, just so people are able to afford things because of a stubbornness and a decision that Democratic representatives are making. So would you agree that in a way, Democratic representatives are forcing the hand of Republican representatives to use emergency funds just so
No, actually, that's what Republicans, Republicans are utilizing that, because they are saying based on the interpretation of the law, they can use specific emergency funds for government shutdowns. And in the case that actually was the case, they're in the context of their own statements. They're utilizing it in situations of government shutdowns. But they're saying based on their own interpretation, which they agree, people disagree with, they're deciding not to utilize this one. So they're utilizing the starvation of 40 million plus Americans, specifically to try and force Democrats into accepting, right, less healthcare benefits.
Okay, so outside of the side benefits, things like that, what about air traffic control and workers and stuff like that that are not going to be paid?
Care about that as well, right?
So you just lined out completely.
You care about that too, right?
Air traffic controllers?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So then what's your point?
Well, the reason we're not being paid is because the government does not funds to pay them.
And Donald Trump himself shut down on the president in the past. He said that Obama was at fault specifically for not getting the country to come together, specifically trying who they vote for. How do you not, or not who they vote for? Trump did vote on the government vote. He said that if the president's Trump, yeah, we're looking for different do that. And right now he's not doing it. So Trump himself in the past has said that about himself.
Okay, so
Elizabeth, thank you for $5. Jennifer for $5. Kimberly with the $25. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So it's Michael with $50 of PayPal. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you for Michael and Kimberly in the comment section right now. Thank you so much.
Good. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but you just froze for a while.
Oh, I apologize. Literally right as I was speaking. That's very important. Never do it now. Hello?
Yeah, you should think you're good now.
Never hear me now.
Hello?
All right.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Alrighty. Well,
Let's
Kimberly,
get to the
$5. Thank you, Jennifer, for $5.
finished pages.
$5. Michael, thank you so much for $50 on PayPal. Thank you
As
so
a
much.
matter of fact, the light.
So, go back to what you were saying.
There we go.
Shoot, what was it saying? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, you mentioned yeah, I don't necessarily agree with what Trump said about Obama in that instance. However, I agree with the part that we need to get everyone together and to come together and find a resolution for this, because obviously there needs to be a resolution, right? There's a problem, there needs to be a resolution. Sorry, I just saw a comment into that. But
Why are Republicans here?
not necessarily. I don't think that there needs to be a negotiation. I think that we all need to come together.
That's negotiable.
In a way, but when you look at the reopening of the government, what part of reopening the government? You mentioned that millions of people are or people are gonna lose millions of dollars. I forget what
going to lose their access to food. Tens of millions of people.
if we reopen the government.
No, we don't reopen the government. Right? With the because the government shut down, they specifically can't fund those programs, which is a certain interpretation of the law, given that like they actually right now.
Correct. So the Republican representatives, from my understanding, are voting to reopen that to change that.
No, they're not actually negotiating. They're just trying to get Democrats specifically to accept a bill that does not fund health care, right, for Americans, specifically in terms of food payments, even though it is right now. Right? And again, where it was, again, that's President Donald Trump specifically trying to get the
What does the bill have to do with the government shutdown?
the bill in order to ensure that the government doesn't shut down.
Okay, then maybe I'm not fully aware of what's going on. Can you inform me as to what the issue is with this bill and why the government is shut down because of it?
Because this bill is to provide the funding for the government because there's a debt ceiling and because they haven't passed a bill to increase the debt ceiling, it limits the government's ability to do basic amenities and pay for its needs. The bill is what is needed for a functioning government.
Okay. So what is the bill doing when it comes to healthcare then? You said people are losing out on healthcare.
Yeah, people's healthcare premium can go up upwards of 70% for people specifically who are on like the ACA, right, for extensive millions of people.
Okay, so in order to make people's healthcare cheaper, we're going to restrict people in need of food from getting food. We're going to prevent air traffic controllers from being paid.
It's not Democrats that are doing it, it's the Republicans. It's literally Trump. They
But it's not though, because
to continue the same level of subsidies.
But it's not though, because in keeping the government open, but it's not, because in keeping the government open, you're preventing that, while reopening it would be the opposite.
Yes, so you say this, but like what you're not understanding is that it's going to lead to increase when there's a non-necessary increase. The Republicans aren't going to negotiate any of those determinations.
So
They're literally just weaponizing people's access to food in order to be able to get their weapon.
So what is the negotiation then? Like, what is the proposal?
The proposal is specifically to keep the same level of healthcare subsidies for the HCA, Medicaid specifically, that existed on.
But then how would the government stand?
Because they passed it up.
But to my understanding, what you just told me, see, I'm not as researched in this as you are, obviously. So I'm trying to understand. So from what I've understood from what you told me, this bill, we're taking away healthcare to fund the government. Correct?
No,
Okay, then can you re-explain?
no, we would be able to fund the government and also pay for this healthcare.
Okay, then can you explain to me why you're raising premiums of healthcare?
Because Republicans want to cut the healthcare subsidies for the ACA.
Okay, for what purpose?
We should be paying.
Okay. So if we deny this bill, the government would you have to pass it. The government said.
If you pass this bill, the government will. If you do not pass the bill, the government will not.
Okay, then it seems like you only have one choice.
It seems like another choice. They can pass the bill, so they can continue the healthcare subsidies, or they can keep the government specifically, like not.
I'm trying to understand this, I guess. I think my brain is going in circles.
Okay. Maybe that will be able to explain it. Listen to that.
Hey, Parker, how you doing? Sorry, I just, I was gonna throw my teacher at you like that. Okay, okay, cool. So what happened was, right, we passed, more subsidies, during COVID. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Damn it,
Or,
I should have done one first.
those-
Okay.
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 Okay. They were set to expire
this year. Okay? Alright. So, what the Democrats are doing is saying, because the Republicans put forward what's known as a clean resolution, okay, they said that's not enough. We want to add to that resolution funding to expand on these subsidies. Because if we do not expand on the subsidies, millions of Americans will not be able to afford those subsidies anymore, and they will lose health care. So Democrats are saying expand the subsidies, and if you don't, you will then lose all that health care. Republicans have not done that, so that's why we're in shutdown.
Okay, so then wait here. Then from what I'm understanding, the Democratic representatives are pushing for further subsidies to be expanded, which would, I believe, would cost more money, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but like Trump, the Republicans are completely okay with massive tax rates for millionaires and billionaires, which from a governmental perspective costs trillions. So they're totally okay with massive tax rates for millionaires and billionaires. But as soon as it comes for like providing people access to healthcare, then they have an issue.
Also, the point of this code too is that not only will it cost money, but we've already spent the equivalent of that money to expand them for years. We spent that just in the last week. We paid to other countries the exact same amount that we could have spent on Americans just to fund those subsidies. So
Okay, what if we say like,
I'm not even.
I said, well, what did we pay the countries? You said we paid
You.
the same amount of money last week.
Yes. The amount of money that we are giving to Argentina is the exact amount of money that we could use to subsidize these healthcare subsidies. But instead, we're giving it to another country rather than make sure that the Americans here have healthcare. That's the problem. This is not a problem of money. We have the money. It's that Republicans for decades have been opposed to giving healthcare to people in this country, and they have been especially opposed to the Affordable Care Act.
So what are we giving our people the money for?
Because they don't have any money, they have a shitty economy, and they need money for a bailout.
Okay, so it seems like this kind of reminds me of the situation where when Joe was in office, we were okay with giving money to other countries while they were recovering from wars and things of destruction of homes. Like they were in need of a lot of money. We were okay with spending. What's that?
Such as what?
From what I understand, once again, I'm not a huge politics guy, so I'm not as into it as you guys are. So obviously your research is better than mine, but from what I understand, we spent like dozens of billions of dollars, like in Ukraine and countries like that. We gave money for aid, did we not?
We sent money over that was given by Congress. Joe Biden was the Congress gave.
Okay, but that would have been approved by Democratic representatives rather than Republican.
Yes, to stop a war from happening. Yes, a stopping the destruction of an ally. Yes, I agree. Which is different from what Trump is doing. Trump is saying Argentina has an ally in their office right now, right? A guy who is MAGA in a sense. And because he needs to be propped up, he wants to give them money. That's the explicit reason. Trump has said so. It's because Argentina has a president who is pro-Trump. That's why he wants to give them money. It is not the same.
Okay, so I would agree it's two completely different situations. However, when we look at this from in my opinion, I think we need to be more engaged as a country because if we look at these two situations, now we're giving tons of money and aid to two different countries that are both in need for different reasons. And when Democratic representatives pushed to aid Ukraine, Republicans did not agree with it, which I'm not going to say whether
Most Republicans did.
well, to an extent, I wouldn't say most.
No, most did. Like most in the House and most in the Senate. There was a few, maybe 10 or so who didn't, but most did.
Okay, and then when we were giving this money to Argentina, Republican representatives pushed that, and then there's pushback from Democratic representatives. Now, what I'm saying,
No. Here's what I'm saying where the pushback's coming from. Democrats would have helped an ally and funded healthcare. Republicans want to help an ally but not fund healthcare. See the difference?
do we have the money to do both?
Yes, we spend billions of dollars every single day. Republicans are about to bail out farmers for a thing that Trump created, a great problem that Trump created. Trump's about to give $12 billion to farmers for something he created. We have the money because we spend it every single day.
I'm unfamiliar with the situation you're talking about with the farmers.
Well, that's a separate topic, I think.
Okay.
And all that farmers. You understand, I want to get it like clear right here. The reason why the government shut down is that Republicans will not pass a bill to make sure that over 10 million Americans do not lose their health care coverage because at the end of the year, those subsidies will expire and mean that for over 10 million Americans, they will no longer be able to afford health care.
Okay. I think I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, that's why. Because Republicans wanted to pass a clean resolution that simply funded the government for like a few months. What Democrats are saying is no, we want to fund the government, but we also want to fund the subsidies because it is one, immoral, and two, not good politically to let tens of millions of Americans go without health care.
Okay. I think I'm understanding what you're saying. I guess my response to that would be that when it comes back to the issue that I was talking about with the government shutdown, then I want to understand that if we can both, well, maybe not understand, but just try to get what's good here.
How do you feel the difference? Like Bailey Halloween? Bailey Halloween? Bailey, hello? Hello, are you there? I can't hear you when you're out of the app. You have to get in the app. He said I was using ChatGPT in the comments. Hello?
For what?
Well, I was like, why is not? Why not?
Yeah, they probably think I'm just like, I've seen comments where people actually think I just use ChatGPT to get all my responses. I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
I think it's just because you're well informed. But I mean, I can give you props for that. I mean, even though I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the policies that you align with, I can give you props for researching and knowing your stuff.
He said, you're using that. Remember when I had that?
I actually am using ChatGPT right now.
Yeah, remember that? That's a throwback.
That is reality. We're using that GPT, right? It's actually kind of
Yeah.
I think you're lagging again.
Am I lagging right now?
No, that's fine.
Alright, well,
Stand both now.
Oh, I'm out of law.
Oh, I'm back. Wow.
Oh.
Close.
Do you understand now?
What's up, Matt? Sorry.
Do you understand now what the?
Oh, I think that you're pretty split. I guess I'm just confused then. I mean, maybe I agree with you on this, but I would just to clarify. But when it comes to the government shutdown, are we choosing between? Is there a both and? Are we choosing between? Like, I guess I'm trying to understand the cost and the effects of both choices. Like, if we were to pass this bill to open the subsidies, it would reopen our government, obviously, but that's going to cost us more money than not.
Yeah,
Right.
We were engaging in that spending money.
Yeah, that's the point. It's like, just this week, we have already spent the exact amount of money. of money that it would take to fund these subsidies. This is not a problem of money. No one's claiming that we don't have the money to do this. It's about a basic philosophical difference. Republicans have spent years trying to basically destroy the Affordable Care Act, and they basically left it up to the last minute to try to fix it. And even now, they realize that this is a problem for them. Did you know that over 80% of the subsidies that are going to expire are in red states? 80% of their own voter base will lose health. They recognize that this is a problem, but they don't want to fix it because they have basically a totally immoral stance where they don't want to give people health care for something.
Okay. So I guess I'm just my question would be then what could this is getting on a different tangent, but I do want to give a response. Oh, can you guys hear me? You guys are frozen on my screen. I don't know if you guys.
He has to have that.
Oh, okay. There we go. I thought maybe I've got 5 people for one, but it's fine. Anyway. Glad to hear it's not just me. Anyway, this is getting off kind of on a separate tangent, but I do want to hear your response. But then I guess my question would be that what can Trump do? What could he do to make you happy? Because I feel like you guys want him to increase spending, which would make our economy worse.
No,
right?
We want him to not cut funding for people like healthcare and people who are in need. To give massive tax rates to millionaires. That's a
Okay, so you're taking different issues to interpret this.
That's
I'm
what he's
talking
doing
about.
now. Because of the trillions of dollars that why are we not asking this question about how we're going to afford it when referencing specifically the $1 trillion tax rates under the Big Beautiful Bill? That added $3.4 trillion to debt.
So my question was going to be in general. So I mean, like you guys bash him when he talks about his economy, how it's good, about how it's not good at all, but then you want him to increase his spending.
Yes, I think that.
Yes, we want him to like feed children. Yeah.
If Donald Trump
Okay,
came
and
out
so-
tomorrow and said, I support expanding the subsidies to make sure Americans go through health care, I'd be like, holy shit, you must have had a good night's sleep or something because he's saying the right thing. Like that's what, that's a good thing that I did. Trump has not been engaged in the process. Had he been engaged and said to the Republicans, pass a bill to fund this, I don't want Americans to do health care, we wouldn't really be criticizing him all that much. But he hasn't been doing that. He's been silent. And he's been silent so much that even Republicans have said that he needs to get his butt back to the United States and actually work with them to get out of this stuff.
You're right. You wouldn't be bashing on this issue because the issue would be resolved. Then it would go to our economy was increasingly getting worse, right?
Based on the metrics. Not,
Well,
not
we're gonna bring
the
up things we disagree with Trump's work. That's gonna happen if it takes time to get that.
Absolutely. I'm not talking about this life specifically. I'm talking about as a country as a whole because we have an issue as a country. This isn't just
We're gonna have things we disagree with under either administration.
Absolutely, 100%. But do you not see a difference in this century than even 10, 15 years ago, where if a representative that we did not want elected, or okay, you guys are frozen again.
Oh, there.
Maybe
Okay,
we should just look at conversation at this point. Up to you.
But we can if you want. I mean, yeah, we can if you want. I mean, I think it was a good discussion.
Is there anything else you want to touch on before we get on or go on to the next person?
I think you can't hear us.
I think it's about.
Okay, Colton, we're going to say goodbye.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, you guys can go. I keep liking it. I'll see you guys.
Okay, cool. I appreciate you coming out, man.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
As well.
All right, bro. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Right, Chad.
Let's go on to the next individual, everybody. And just guess you guys, if you need that to the criteria listed on TikTok screen. You're just looking for some debates, everyone. I'm Lisa Nagashi, I said you that's the criteria we listed on the TikTok. Underscore Visa always Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree, bio, as well as Twitch, YouTube, as well as scroll over YouTube Super Chat. That's Holly.
Me, am I on here?
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Effie. I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm just curious when you asked that Trump needs to be home. The bill is sitting in the Senate. The bill is sitting in the Senate. There is no negotiation. We're talking about going back to Biden era standard spending. We're talking about a CR. We're not talking about negotiation. There is no negotiation. We're talking about going
Should be
back.
negotiations for government.
Why should there be negotiations? We went and they have settled the situation by a CR. A new resolution and this is underneath. This is Biden spending era, COVID era spending to them levels. So why do you guys have such a problem with this two island hopping naked views for us on a domestic level? Well, why does he need to be here? The bill 13 times has been voted down in the Senate and is not agreed to. There is no negotiation to be had. When you open the government, that's when you negotiate. You don't hold people hostage. This is no us. Yes, sir.
In order for them to be able to get a bill done, they have to negotiate. That's their job in Congress.
No.
In order to be able to get people to vote for bills. Because people aren't going to vote for the bill. People aren't going to vote for the bill unless there's a negotiation.
But why would they not? It's because a CR, you're
Because
talking
they
about
haven't agreed to it.
No, why, in this, nobody's ever, any administration has ever not voted, even the Democrats, Republicans, has not taken a continuing resolution that continues the spending that was there. This is Biden's spending now. This is not Trump's new spending bill. They're not cutting money. We're just talking about the leeways, open the government, and then we'll talk about it, and they had it under regular order. If you understand the Constitution, now we're supposed to have regular order, which we haven't had, and that the whole administration has had, whatever. But regular order, going to the committee, getting voted out of committee, going to the floor, having a conference, regular order. Now, a continuing resolution will take nothing, but why did three Fetterman seems to be the only common sense Democrat that I see that actually speaks on the air. Now there's two other Democrats that have voted in the Senate to go along with it to make this happen. Obviously, the doctor over there in Kentucky, he's going to be a stickler on the Republican side. But you know what I mean? I just don't understand this. This is a non-starter. This is a continuing resolution. This is for weeks. This is not for months. This is not for years. And this is just to make it to get through the rest of the regular order, how our government is supposed to work. Not this stuff that you bring up the bill and you don't know, you got to read it. Obviously, the old closely, right? You got to read it to know what's in it. It's just a continuing resolution. What you tell me, if you can articulate to me what the problem with that is, I can really get over it. I can't understand why it's such a
Thank you for the like.
Just to keep it, the government going as was under. This is Biden, doggone, you know what I mean? Thing. I don't understand. Under his understanding, under his spending. This is a Biden thing. This is not Trump's no and improved deal. Just explain that to me. Why is it got to be a negotiation when a CR has worked 13 times in the past?
I think so. If they just do the same CR over and over again, that's not negotiating, and they need to negotiate in order to get people to change whether or not they would want to vote for it. If there's no negotiation, then it is the case that they're not going to come in to determine if they all agree to extend resolution then be able to vote for them or vote for that.
Okay.
So that's why they need to negotiate.
I the words in English, I understand English perfectly, and it makes perfect sense to me. But this is under Biden's continuing, his spending. We're not under COVID no more. This is it's spending plus spending plus spending. This is COVID era spending that the Republicans that's their negotiating point right there. We're just continuing what you had going, and it's not, like I told you, like you already know, sir, that it's not for months, it's for like 6 weeks, just so we can get the last of us gone.
So we don't want to push it.
No,
That's a million.
now you're getting to, now if you want to get into that being at that moment, I got something for that too. So Obamacare, which now it all of a sudden, it just turns into the ACA. It used to be called Obamacare.
Obamacare is the same thing as the ACA.
Yes, yeah, I know that. But now, if you look at
It's always been that way. Obamacare is just a name that we applied to it.
if you listen to it being recorded, well, now it's the ACA.
It's always been the same thing. It's always been the same thing.
Okay, yes, okay. Digress. But what I'm saying is, Obamacare is failing. That's why it needs subsidy. That's why it's failing. It's a failing program. Why?
Subsidies are to ensure that we have a reduction in the level of healthcare premiums. It's not failing. I don't know where you're getting this idea that it's failing. How do you quantify
It's failing because we need subsidies for it, sir. Why do you need subsidizing if it's not failing? Why does it need
It's
subsidy?
the governmental program. A governmental program requires subsidization. Right? How do you afford how do you fund the program without subsidizing?
Well, that was the ACA. That was Obamacare. Everybody criticizes and all this, but listen to me. What I'm saying. Why are the premiums jumping up so bad? Why is that?
It's because Republicans wanted to cut subsidies.
Yeah, exactly. Why
do the subsidies?
Why so good money after that? So that's the whole.
You don't think it's good to ensure that people's healthcare premiums are cheaper? I thought you wanted prices to go down.
The issue I take with it is the part that you will never ever say out of your mouth is that it gives it to illegal people that are not here, that are not citizens. That's really the hang up that nobody wants to say. That's a dirty word because you know what I mean.
There's nowhere in the bill that mentions undocumented immigrants.
People that ain't even in this country legally that have legal grounds can go into.
There's nothing in the bill that even mentions undocumented.
Yeah, baloney, bro. Baloney. Come on, keep it.
I mean, can you tell me where in the bill it mentions undocumented immigrants?
You kind of listen. Everybody wants to have their own thing. Undocumented immigrants. They're not here.
I mean, listen. You could go over to the bill and you could
I'm
show
going to
that.
the bill. Dude, I'm a student. You think that you're just that smarter than anybody? I'm not.
I don't think I'm smarter than everybody. I'm just telling you, if you go to the bill, you can click Control F, you type in illegal and undocumented, and nowhere does it reference undocumented or illegal.
Okay, then let me ask you this. What is the Democrats' position? What is the sticking point? What is it that they want that the Republicans just won't budge on? What is the sticking point? You tell me. And I'll tell you what I think mine is. What I think it is. Is it what? They don't wanna open the government? They just wanna be an asshole, or you know what I mean? No, we don't wanna fund people undocumented.
No, the bill even mentions undocumented immigrants. I don't know where you're getting this
Yes,
from.
it does. Yes, it does, sir. Sir,
It doesn't even mention undocumented immigrants.
because, okay, well, I'm asking you. I know this lady. You maintain your poise, and I admire it. You and everybody. But what I'm saying is to me, that it's conflated into that issue that they gotta have the doggone whatever status they may have at that point. I don't know, man. Now it's semantics, you know what I mean? In the news, if you're watching and trying to find out the truth. What is it that the Democrats, you said they got to come back to the table and negotiate? Okay, why don't you tell me what's the Democrats' position on what they want, and tell me what the Republicans are telling them that is refuting that? Can you articulate that to me? That would help me out a lot.
Yeah, so, Democrats want to continue the same healthcare subsidies for the ACA that have existed. They want to extend that, whereas Republicans, when claiming that Democrats want healthcare for undocumented immigrants, which is just not true. Nothing in the bill that specifically says that. Now, if we're going to talk about something that undocumented immigrants do get insurance relative, which is supported by both sides, right, is the fact that in the emergency room, if someone's dying, you don't have to put immigration status before saving them. That's
No,
emergency healthcare.
no human being would ever do that, obviously. But,
There's no difference in the policy under
Okay.
Republicans versus Democrats as it relates to
There you
undocumented
go.
immigrants.
if we had that 54, whatever in the Senate, but they would easily make a decision. If you're gonna tell me that sure is not gonna, I mean, I just don't understand. I don't agree with what you're saying about the undocumented people, but what I'm saying is that it's not just a matter of, well, that's what a continuing resolution is. They want to continue the resolution we have. And you're trying to tell me that
No, they haven't. They've changed it. They've
like the
changed it.
Republicans
The
want
Democrats
to
are the ones trying to. The Democrats are the ones trying to continue the same level of funding. The Republicans are the
No.
ones trying to prevent that funding from being continued.
They already passed it out of the House. It's sitting on the Senate floor. I thought about it. Desk. What do you mean they passed it out of the House? The House don't even need to be there no more.
Yeah, it's because that's the Republicans' bill, and the Democrats have not agreed to it. And they need the
It's a
Democrats.
CR.
They need the Democrats.
It's a CR.
They need the Democrats to agree to it because they need to get consistent voting required to pass the bill.
Do you know what a CR is?
Yes.
Okay. What is by definition, what is it? In like
It's a resolution for the spending for the federal government.
well, you forgot the continuing part, but yes, it's called a continuing resolution. We're gonna keep it the status quo till we get these bills out of the House and they can go through the committee and we debate them and get to the floor and they get their votes. That's all they want. That's how the government supposed to work. It's not supposed to work this sneak attack and draw the bill behind the back and here it is and vote and you'll figure it out when you vote on it. They're trying to do this. It's a continuing resolution. This is abiding the spending resolution. Why? I don't understand why you will not concede that fact. I just don't understand why you will not concede the fact this is a continuing resolution on the Biden era spending. And we just want to, you know what I mean, continue with it to these last weeks where the beautiful bill, as you call it, you know what I mean, goes and can get this, you know what I mean? We want a CR. It's a CR. It's done. It's never been denied. Why? Can you explain to me why it's never been denied? It's always been absorbed. You know what I mean? And
That's not true. The government is shut down before in time.
no, the government is shut down.
2014, and Trump said
I'm asking you. That wasn't my question. That question was why has it's never a CR has never been voted down. A straight clean bill. No. You tell me where the clean bill
Where
is.
did you get that information from?
No, tell me. You tell me. You're Mr. Know-it-all.
I don't know everything. I'm asking you.
You don't. Well, you got 6 computers in front of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking you if it's a clean resolution. Come on, man. You know what I'm talking about. Don't play coy. You know what I'm saying, man. I'm just your average Peckerwood from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I happen to watch the news. I happen to pay attention to politics. I happen to watch world events. This sort of, and everybody's bitching about this to be world happen when he's out there making, funds for the U.S. But whatever, there's nothing to negotiate. The negotiation is done. We'll keep it.
Negotiation isn't done because they specifically haven't agreed upon terms. So,
We'll keep the trains one at a time, just like we had it. No, you gotta listen to me too.
I've been doing a lot of listening. I've done way too much listening. To be honest with you, I've let you gap about things that are completely irrelevant.
I don't know, yeah, that makes sense.
To be totally honest with you, you've talked about so many things that are irrelevant to the conversation and repeat the same thing over and over and over again. And I've been incredibly patient with you and let you like finish all those points. So you're trying to direct our conversation and we're not doing anything.
I appreciate you letting me, you know what I'm saying, just get it off my chest that why is a continuing resolution in your mind and your definition and your description it qualifies as some kind of thing bungling and here goes Trump meddling and here comes the Republicans, you know, the fingers fucking the goddamn bill. It's a continuing resolution. It's that simple. What's wrong with you? You just address that. Just address one subject. The continuing resolution is on the table that we put up on the bill on the Senate for 13 times, and 13 times you guys have turned it down. Why? Why? You tell me why they continue to turn down a resolution that continues the Biden era spending. Under COVID, mind you, that I would cut the hell out of. You know what I mean? We need to cut this government down. That's my humble opinion. But you know what I mean? Let's keep why make people dangle when they can just try to continue the resolution and keep it going? Let's pretend that it didn't start. Let's continue. Let's pretend that it started October 1st or November 1st and run it to that. But no, you know what I mean? You guys want to stall and all that and go to the Senate 13 times. It's never, sir, it's never happened. I'm telling you. I've done the research. It's never happened that a continuing resolution has been turned down with a clean bill, not with some with demands on it, not with some that has contingencies. Look at you. You just shake your head out, you know, you're cute, you know, with your little hairdo and all that, but, you know, in the end, you can't argue with it, and you have no answer for it. Why in the hell you guys would turn down the plain fact that continuing Joe Biden's doggone spending bill, a continuing resolution, and be gone with it. That's all you gotta do. If you could answer me that, I'll be quiet. Good.
Yeah. So again, the reason why they went 13 different times is because it's the exact same continuing resolution bill. It's no difference. So if you wanted there to be a difference in whether or not how many people specifically are going to agree upon the bill, well, you need to engage in negotiation so that you can get certain people to then change their position on the bill. I've now repeated this to you, I think, like 8 times or something like that, probably. I can get that explained again.
No, I don't want you to explain that. I want you to explain the question I really asked. I asked you, can you point out to me when they have ever, when the government, when the Congress have ever not passed a clean bill of the CR when they have denied that, when they have said no, you got to come back and negotiate a CR. And that says it all. It's called a continuing resolution. It ain't called a continuing negotiation. It's called a continuing resolution. We will take this matter up and negotiate when you open the government. Answer me that, please, sir.
Yeah, so if you want to talk about like them not accepting the CR,
Yes.
I can give you one from 2024 where the House Republicans were generally opposed to continuing the resolution that existed in 2024. I can give you plenty of other historical examples of that happening.
Tell me. Enlighten me. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
I mean, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just saying I can't give you it.
Give me, just tell me what. Why?
I just told you one from 2024. I just gave you an example.
Well, I take issue with that. I don't agree with that. I disbelieve that. That's not true. A clean CR bill that you're telling me that the government wouldn't shut down added
The
somebody
government
not.
did shut down in 2014.
Yes, but not off the clean resolution. Not off the
What do you mean by clean resolution? There's certain
I mean, you know what it means. It means continuing the spending bill as it is.
That's not what we're currently doing right now.
Well, listen, man.
So according to your own notion here, the CR that you're referencing is not a Randy, thank you so much for the $10. Amy with the $5. William with the $5. I'm not quite sure. Maybe all. Thank you so much for the first. Thank you. Katie, thank you so much for the first $5. Gina, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. That's the first with the $5. Thank you so much.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate you taking me and having this dialogue because it's hard to get high class dialogue with somebody. But I watched this and I happen to pride myself on knowing this stuff, and it just seems to me that this is as clear cut as it is to just, you know what I mean, vote the bill in 6 weeks. They got it negotiated.
Can you name an economic policy that Donald Trump said he was going to pass the year?
That I like? I can't get mad about the clean, the beautiful bill. I mean, obviously, I like that because I think they cutting down burden. I like the tariffs. I like what do you want me to drill on?
Can you tell me what a tariff is?
A tariff is when you tax that ass when they're trying to bring stuff here. Is it under Trump's?
And who pays that tax?
Well, it's split. They can eat it or they can pass it down to the consumer.
Who's paying?
Who's ever being charged, whatever it might be steel, it might be
And who
rubber.
pays that tax?
I just told you, they can eat it. They can.
Who's that?
The company who's being charged can eat it, or they can pass it down to the consumer.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Companies in which country are being
Well, when you say that you're being very, very vague because the government of China, you know what I mean? There ain't no private sector. You know what I mean?
Does the revenue, there is a yes, there is.
No, come on now, man.
There is a private sector in China. Yes, there is.
Oh, really? Oh, is that
Yes.
good?
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. That's pretty fucking amazing. Imagine that. Imagine
There's
the
private sector in
private sector and what do? They're trading on the NYSE, right? Yeah. Is that what you're gonna tell me next?
No,
Just-
just telling you
just
that
go
it is a
with
fact that since around the
Okay.
80s, China has implemented more free market reforms.
More? See? Okay, fine. I'm gonna listen.
Yeah.
But
Since the 80s, has implemented more free market reforms.
that's not a free market reform, but that's not a free market, sir.
I'm not
I
saying
hate
it's
to
free
agree.
market. I'm just saying more.
Yeah, well,
market reforms.
you kind of try to intimate that it was, but it's not.
I agree. It's not a completely free market.
China's a whole different animal, and I specifically said that because you know that's not a free market. You know that's not.
Okay, based on the definition that you provided, neither is Donald Trump's market in the United States, because implementing tariffs is a restriction on the free market.
No, well, you asked me for tariffs, and I described it to you.
You said that you support them, so you must not support free market.
No. I support free trade, not if they're
Support free trade, but tariffs are not free trade.
Well, you're being vague again. These people
Tariffs are not free trade. That is pretty.
Listen to you're not listening. You want to always cut in on somebody. I watch a lot of time.
I have done a lot of listening in this conversation.
I'm sure in this conversation, but I watch it all the time. Listen, the whole point is these people have been taking advantage. If you look across the spectrum, if I had a spreadsheet in front of me, but I don't have that like you do. You can turn to one computer.
I don't have a spreadsheet.
Across. I'm not saying you. Now, why is he doing that? Why is he?
You said that I have a spreadsheet in front of me. I just simply said I do not have a spreadsheet. Parker, why do you do that? Parker, why do you defend yourself, Parker? What the fuck, Parker? Just stop defending yourself. Let me make up false things about you.
No, I mean, any false claims. I'm saying you got the assets in front of you that you can cross-check. See what I'm saying?
I'm not looking at anything. All I have in front of me is myself and my chat.
I'm limited. I'm poor. I live in Milwaukee, and that's that.
We're both just having a conversation, dude.
Listen.
I'm not fucking Superman, right?
Nobody is. There is no Superman. My point being is, tariffs have been in place way before Trump got there. Way you speak of? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me?
Man, I don't think we'd be taking advantage of tariffs. I don't think countries are placing massive tariffs on us. To a large extent. I think that Donald Trump has imposed larger tariffs than they would have.
Wow. Yeah, thank God, thank God. Thank God sanity has come to the White House. Thank God.
That's not sanity. That's
That is-
insanity. That is
that is-
insanity.
Well, to me, my humble opinion is that sanity that these companies ain't ripping us off no more.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
that's the
Explain
thing I won't-
to me how we're not being ripped off because tariffs were.
because we were being taxed like that, like you just
Tariff
said.
is a tax.
Yes. So when we try to export, like let's say today, our soybeans, and they won't accept them, they'll buy them from somebody else and all of that shit, and they try to, choke us and hold us over the feet to the fire type shit. Whatever you put the acronym on it.
So you just acknowledge the tariffs that were involved in American farmers that think so.
I'm not saying that's one example. Are you listening to me?
Yes, I just listened and I
That's
just
an
repeated what you
example.
said.
Yes.
So why
yes.
did you give a negative example of something when you were trying to give a positive argument why tariffs are real?
No, I didn't. You asked me. Well, you asked me the nationalism of tariffs and why you think that other countries were taking advantage of us, and I just told you why. They would not buy our fucking soybeans. They would put tariffs.
Now they're not buying our soybeans because Trump implemented the tariffs.
You must have seen the news today. You must be on the computer too much.
Yeah, what news did I not see?
Well, they agree that we have a framework with China fighting who buys a whole bunch of shit from there. I mean, the beef industry.
How much are they buying of our soybeans?
They say 500 billion, but who knows?
500 billion?
Who the fuck is going to be honored? I don't know. Who knows if they're going to honor it? It's about, trying to keep people honest and trying to keep shit working well. You know what I mean? Trying to oil the machine and not build it up. Trying to make agreements.
This is from 3 hours ago. This is from 3 hours ago. China's to buy 12 million metric tons of soybeans this season.
Okay, whatever. I could quantify it by billions, whatever. How much is that? How much is 12?
And that's down from 22 million tons.
Okay.
So I don't know.
What do you mean? They were buying zero. What are you talking about? Any game?
We're buying here because of the fact that Trump implemented tariffs. They were doing 22 before the tariffs were in.
See, now there we go again about me quoting you as saying you have assets and abilities in front of you, and I don't have them. I can't sit there and go to another source, a computer, laptop, whatever, and just pull these numbers up like you. So that's why I'm naive to whatever. I'm just saying. They make you prove.
Maybe you just tried to call me naive. You just tried to say that I was too busy on my. You just tried to say that I was too busy on my computer and that I was naive. But then just said that it's totally okay for you to be naive. It was only wrong when I specifically just didn't know something.
Who said you didn't know something? I commend you.
I didn't hear about that until now.
All the time that
I was literally, by the way, that article came out while I was live.
Oh, okay. Well, I've seen it.
3 hours ago. That article came out 3 hours ago.
I just happened to be. I've seen it 3 hours ago.
Yeah, I started at 3 hours and 49 minutes.
Okay. Well, what I was, you're making you're breaking off old tangents from what we're speaking about. Okay. You like to do that stuff. You know what I mean?
I like to do that. You should watch back this
You just
conversation.
did.
You should watch back this conversation. Rebecca, thank you so much for $50 on Venmo. Who took up for Rebecca in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Rebecca. I really appreciate it. $50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it on Venmo. Thank you. Samantha with the $25. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Samantha. Thank you. Amanda with the $5. Thank you. And with the $10. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please put them in the comment section right now. Olivia with the $5. Thank you so much. And the $5. Thank you. Emily with the $2. Thank you so much for taking a sip every single time he says continue resolution.
Hey, you got a hell of a deal going on. I admire it. I have had hers, and I must tell you, I'm an eighth grade educated person. I'm 53 years old. I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My son was murdered 2013. My lady, the 33 years she just been having, she took her life 22 years old.
I'm just
And,
sorry.
and I appreciate that, but I do admire, you know what I mean? You guys are well business. You guys are definitely school. I've been to penitentiary 4 times. So, you know what I mean? I just call it like I see it. And I just wish we could, just keep one streamlined thing. And you try to make it, but sometimes you get vague on stuff. But, to me, this is my humble opinion. I'll only tell you that. But I appreciate, I appreciate you coming up because if you remember this, but before the election, me and you spoke, and I told you I was going to get back at you, and you know what I mean? And you might can look it back up, but before the election, when I knew Trump was going to get in there, me and you spoke one single time, and I wanted to get back at you. I requested a bunch of times, and I figured whatever. But it don't matter. I like the dialogue, but I think the CR is just it's a plain Jane CR continuing resolution. It's called a claim bill, as you know this stuff. Come on, man, this is rudimentary stuff, and it's just it's in the Senate's house. All that's at the Senate there just to continue. It's not saying we're cutting down nothing. It's not we're taking nobody off nothing. But it's holding hostage these people.
Trump is doing it.
Why is he doing it? It passed the House.
They could just continue the same.
We have a majority. The majority is there. Sir, it's a majority in the Senate. It's bipartisan, but we need 5 more, y'all, because y'all know they never say this on the news. It's just like the vote threshold.
I've already told you.
Yeah, but listen, there's nothing to negotiate. We're not going to give illegals the thing, and you know that. You know that for a fact. That's in the bill. It is in the bill. I can't. I don't have the bill in front of me. I can't.
No, I said I'll give you time to look at it. I will give you while you're on the app.
No, I'd rather just, banter it out with you. I think if you call me up a couple more times, I will, be more easily to, you know what I mean? I get excited when I talk about this, but I will bone up on my things and call me up. Allow me up. I'm Anthony. I should put Anthony from Milwaukee. You would understand. And I watch you all the time. I'm sitting here listening. You guys got hella skills, you and your buddy. I don't know what happened in the dark here, too, but I admire good banter. I love the fist fighter. You know what I mean? This is stuff that is supposed to be meted out by dialogue. You know what I mean? And I enjoy that you're well informed. You are well informed. You have the equipment in front of you to do it. I'm not that luxury, but just saying that I appreciate that you calling me up. When you see Anthony on there, that's me, and I always beat it up with you. And you know what I mean? You're a very astute, smart person, but you know what I mean. Sometimes I don't know, man. I guess I don't understand. And you teach me stuff too. So that's why I enjoy this. I don't know. But
I appreciate you coming up, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I'm not going to stick to my gun, but you know what I mean? It's like,
hopefully you change your mind over time.
and maybe I can do so to you, and you never know. Meeting in the mind is always great. But, hey,
Well, I appreciate you doing it.
have a good one, sir.
All right, everyone, for the next individual, please you guys are blessed with the criteria. Listen to TikTok. It's going to be good. Like another 55 minutes or so left on the stream. Laura, thank you so much for $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. John, for $5. Thank you so much. This is What's up? What's up? How you doing, Santana? Oh, I can't hear you. Alrighty, give me a second. Everybody's on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. By the way, everyone, subscribe to my YouTube. We're less than 4,000 subscribers away from 400K, which is absolutely fucking crazy. I really appreciate you going and subscribe there. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you think about Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
I vote for Trump.
Okay, and what's your, and why do you support Donald Trump?
Well, you know, I just have a very specific reason. I think he's doing really good with mental health related stuff.
I'll let you respond to any of the documents.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, and you said that he's doing very well with mental health related stuff?
Right. So I actually work in the medical field, in the psychiatry world. And honestly, ever since he was elected, you know, there's been more people going to therapy than there ever has been.
You're getting
that I've ever seen in the world go to actual therapy. I think they're terrified.
Listen, I appreciate it, guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter. We're looking for some actual debates, guys. Please, please, please do not request up if you're not an actual Trump supporter. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter, you're 18 plus, a United States citizen, and you are, this is your first time interacting with Scott. Scott, are you a Trump supporter?
No, I'm not. I'm actually just starting. But I just want to
Absolutely. Guys, please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter, you're not 18 years of age or older, and you're not in the U.S. Again, we are only looking for some debates. Parker has about 50 minutes or so left on the live, so we want to make sure that we actually get some good debates. So again, only request up if you are a Trump supporter and you meet all the qualifications. Keep tapping the screen, guys. Let's see if we can get Parker up to 2 million before he ends the live. Keep tapping the screen. Also, if you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links are in Parker's link of his bio. Also, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and smash that like button. Smash the like button. Isabella, are you a Trump supporter?
Hello? Oh, yes.
Are you? What year were you born?
2005.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Why do you support Trump?
Mostly just because of the immigration policy, I'd say. It's not that. It's more so of how he wants to, I don't know how to word it, but where I stand is that I am a child of immigrants, and I just don't think that it's fair to my parents and grandparents have to wait in line, while as other people think that it's okay to just cross and be here freely.
Yeah, okay, I understand. And your parents, they came from where?
My mom came from Spain.
All right. And so I guess the question I would have for you is, you agree with the way that Donald Trump is currently treating immigrants, and not just documented immigrants, but just immigrants in general.
Well, I definitely don't agree with like how he's doing it and how like rude he's being and how disrespectful he can be overall.
So you being a child of immigrants, someone who has realized the American dream and see a better life, would it bother you to know that Donald Trump is now targeting undocumented immigrants with immigration as a whole?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Would it bother you to know that Donald Trump is targeting not only undocumented immigrants but immigration as a whole?
Yes.
Donald Trump just came out today and said that as far as refugees coming from Africa, the amount is being cut. The ceiling that the Biden administration had was 126,000. Donald Trump is reducing it down to 7,500, and of those 7,500,
is saying that they're prioritizing white South Africans. So specifically, not only reducing the amount of legal immigration, but at the same time targeting immigrants in the country. So it sounds like the overall life that you've been able to achieve, Donald Trump doesn't want other people to have that.
Okay, I did not know that. I did not know that Ethan Ford was saying that either today. So I guess I do need to look over that. And thank you for informing me about that as well. I do want others to have what I do as well and come over, but I just thought that was unfair as well.
Well, and not just that, Donald Trump is specifically if you can take a look back at his first administration, his goal, and he made this known on his actual Agenda 47. They want to decrease the amount of legal immigration. So even when you talk about the asylum process, Donald Trump is trying to price people out of claiming asylum. You know what asylum is, right?
Yes.
So Donald Trump has absorbed fees towards asylum seeking and even reoccurring fees. So people that are fleeing other countries for threats of their life, Donald Trump is saying, well, if you want to actually come here for safety, you have to pay this.
Oh. I did not know that either. That he's making people pay for asylum either.
It's I mean, literally, again, it was in the Agenda 47. He didn't talk about it, but they said they wanted to actually slow legal migration, not just undocumented. Because his country started that.
Okay, thank you for helping me open my mind more to this. I definitely need to do more research on that. I did not know any of that. Thank you.
No,
I'm respectful as well, because I saw a lot of the other people, but yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, with that being said, I mean, again, Donald Trump specifically targeting people like his family. I mean, what do you have to do about it?
Well, I didn't think that he was really targeting me or my family for that case. I thought it was more of just the ones that were illegal.
Yeah, and that's why I specifically talked about the actual quote unquote legal process for people that are coming and doing it the right way. They're not trying to actually just block it. They're trying to stop it.
Oh, they're trying. Okay, I did not. I thought they were just trying to have them go, basically deport the illegals and then have them come back in legally the right way. But I didn't know that.
Yeah, and which I mean, they're not even giving a real option for that. I mean, they're more so detaining people. They're not even deporting people at the same rate as Joe Biden or Barack Obama. They're literally just infringing on people's rights and then shipping them off to CPOC and other random countries. I mean, they're not worrying about this humanely in any way. Again, they're eliminating just anyone that's trying to come to the country for that.
Okay, thank you so much, Santana. I really appreciate you being respectful and educating me more so. Thank you for having me on. I definitely need to do way more research, and yeah, I definitely don't support that at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you coming out.
All right, everyone, let's go to the next individual real quick. This is a guest request. If you got to the criteria, listen to your thoughts. Joseph, thank you so much. Really appreciate $10 gifts and W's for Joseph in the comment section right now as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate Rebecca. Thank you so much for $5. Thank you. I really appreciate it as well. Donald, with the $40 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Donald. I really appreciate you. W's for Donald in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Laura, thank you for $10. Thank you. And Emily, thank you so much for $5. Thank you. Let me read the whole thing first. I would have to. Yeah, that would be dependent upon what the standard deviation is for that particular equation. And what the mean is. The standard deviation is just essentially it's to refer to a normal distribution. Only some guest requests if you need that that's here listed on the TikTok screen for some dates. You live in Albany?
Yeah, I'm 26. I'm from Gunnersfield, Alabama. I support Trump. And I'm going to vote for him in 2028.
So Rocky time you either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who's your preference?
Trump, 100%.
And why do you support him?
In my house, we are God-fearing Christians, and the values of the Republicans go with the Christian values. I think that the Democrats are evil, and you are the Antichrist. Jesus, I rebuke his boy. I rebuke you.
The next individual is sending us your blessing. You need that for the criteria listed with the company. The score is always and the contact the account in the final was 15. Was the score you to see the shot? Sports they can. Always up here as well.
I put a challenge out to the chat. They're supposed to get you up to 2 million likes before you end the live. So I'm watching the likes, chat. Let's get them moving.
Let's see if we can 3,000 on YouTube as well. By the way, also on TikTok, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. We're super close to 40K on YouTube. You know what to tell you? I know we're less than like almost 3,000 away. 3,050. So the next individual, please send us your blessing. We need that to the criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We're actually for some debates. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you everyone for supporting the Antichrist. Did you see that? Someone like actually called me the Antichrist.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, a few days ago, someone called me the Antichrist. Actually, that's it. Joseph, how old are you?
24.
You support Donald Trump?
I do.
What's your opinion?
I wanted 2,000.
You can go back in time to either vote for Donald Trump or Donald Trump.
Trump, I just had a really quick question for you. I kind of broke the rules because I debated you before, but this is a genuine question that I wrote.
I'm sorry. I got you. Emily, so because the standard deviation is 18, and because the mean is 523, essentially what you just need to do is 3 times 18. And then if it's a negative in terms of the standard deviation, you're going to do 523 minus 18 times 3, or you're going to do 523 plus 18 times 3. That's going to be how you find like the number that is 3 standard deviations away from the mean. So the next individual, everybody, listen to you guys request. If you need that to be right here, listen to take out screen. Oh, 523 is not the mean. What is 523? Not confused. From the next individual, only send you guys request if you need that to the right here. Listen to take out screen. Oh, 18,000? Is that what it is?
Why were you messaging 12-year-old girls
Joseph,
on
how old are you?
Why were you messaging 12-year-old girls on Snap? You're
Never
messaging
was.
12-year-old
How old are you? Never
Check
was.
Twitter, check Twitter, check Twitter,
What on
check Twitter.
Where on Twitter? Where on Twitter? Where on Twitter is that?
Check Twitter. I checked Twitter.
Twitter.
Twitter is a hellscape.
There's no one on Twitter that says that. That's literally. Oh, they're saying it's 18.523. Okay, that makes sense. Never mind. Hold on. What's it called? Okay, so you're gonna take the mean is 75.40. What you're gonna do is that you're gonna take that minus 3 times 18.523 in parentheses in your calculator, and that will be the negative, and then you can do that in plus in terms of positive. Bethany, thank you so much for $5. Thank you. There's your three standard deviations, just gonna be 3 multiplied times the standard deviation. You go to Holly.
Did they send anyone to SECOT that was not part of it?
Yes, I sent you.
So guys,
You know what's volume?
I'm 20, I'm 30, so
Okay. If you could go back in time and do the Donald Trump or Kamala Harris,
I have first instruction. I'm not actually a U.S. citizen.
We're not. No, thank you. Seriously, only request up if you're 18, U.S. citizen, and you support Trump, and you have to help.
You know what's the problem? Oh, what's your birthday? Yeah, I did. If you could go back in time and take a vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who'd you rather vote for?
Yeah, the vote for those countries.
Then why do you support Donald Trump?
Well, I support Donald Trump is because I like how I rather him this year for the government. I never really helped out really one of the first ones.
So you don't think we will benefit off of the, you don't think there's anyone benefiting off of that?
So I'm in like the working class staff and all that, and you know, I'm everything on it, so it's not my problem.
You don't feel like how's it benefit of it?
So other people, honestly,
Yeah, how do they benefit?
benefited them by sitting down, government help, not working for themselves. I mean, I don't know how it's helped them.
So it helped them? So he says food stamps don't help anyone. Do you think that like free public education has helped anyone?
Not really. I mean, our education
No?
is terrible. We ain't much on that.
Well, I think it definitely does help people comparatively not existing.
Well, of course.
Okay, so then you're saying policies that have been passed from a federal government perspective have helped people. You just can't see them. You said that they've never helped people, but now you just acknowledge that they do help people.
I said they don't really help people. Don't really. I mean that they don't help.
Don't really? So just like I'm confused. I think that extraordinarily helps people compared to like what
Like I
people
said,
than
the working
otherwise.
class. I don't say anything about school. I said the working class. So
The working class benefits from school. The working class benefits from access to healthcare. The context of the ACA subsidies out being allocated for benefits, right? They benefit specifically from the ACA in general. They benefit from the policy specifically invoked by the Trump, not by the Trump administration, by the Biden-Harris administration, the Infrastructure Bill, which is the Science Act, the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act.
So the only thing that helps in this is the fact that they have a high school diploma. That's it. But not that the education itself don't think it in any way. It's just that
I mean, you don't think that your high school education helped you at all?
No, it just helped me have a pay.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous to say that it didn't help you at all.
It didn't. You know why? Because it was just, you know, they just push you forward. If you
Did you not pay attention?
I didn't. I'm not paying attention. No, I don't pay attention. None of that. Because I mean, it's
Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense. So if you specifically didn't pay attention, well then obviously you're not going to pick up on anything specifically. I did pay attention and I picked up on a lot.
What did you pick up on?
Yeah, I
How to do
specifically.
two times.
I mean, I did that in elementary school. We're talking about high school. Right? I learned
Okay,
American history. I learned about civics. I learned specifically economics, like the very basics of
Okay, so
the
what's
stock market. I learned calculus. I learned geometry. I learned algebra.
What class taught you about that? What class
My
taught you
economics
about
class in high school.
So not every school has economics on it.
Yes, mine did.
We just had.
And they're instituting it to
Okay,
a greater extent now.
Wait,
I graduated in
Yeah,
05 and I
wow,
took
wow.
economics in high school as well.
no, we just took, all you gotta take is the 4 major classes: science, biology, probably English, and
Maybe they operate you to pay attention.
I mean, you have personal finance, so you don't run that stuff. Personal finance, so it's just kind of do banking and all that.
I mean, that's specifically your school, but like obviously if we want better standards from an overall standpoint, federally speaking, in terms of education, well then we probably shouldn't abolish or defund the Department of Education, right?
So probably, I don't know, maybe we will do something different. We will do something, maybe not demolish it, but we have to do something different.
Okay, so but Donald Trump talked about abolishing. So if you specifically disagree with that position, then why do you support Donald Trump?
Well, I mean, not everything you have to agree with or disagree with, you know, because I disagree with some things, does not mean I'm not going to support them. Like, I disagree a lot with the left.
What do you agree with them on and what do you disagree with us on?
Agree with y'all on?
No, what do you agree with Trump on and what do you disagree with us on?
I disagree with a lot with y'all, Trump, like, I'm trying to change everything, especially with tax, like, although they're giving SNAP benefits on that, I think they need to work. If you cannot work,
You understand that people on SNAP benefits do work, right? There's no requirements for SNAP benefits. Do you know that?
so yeah, that's, yeah, for some amount of, for some people, and something not like good job, not much, working like you got part-time, if you because you were working, it's different. It just works different from.
So you just said you don't want to provide people food and that they should just quote unquote get a job. That's sick, dude. You know that's sick, right? Like
No, there's
people are gonna
no-
starve because of that policy, especially children.
Goodness, I mean, how trouble of a parent that's not willing to do something for their
I'm
kids.
sorry,
It's like,
because they can't afford it? Because they can't afford it? You shouldn't have to work multiple jobs just to be able to put food on the table.
Also, I don't get this fascination
Oh,
with you guys.
so you're right.
I don't get the fascination with you just because you have some type of negative feeling towards the parents that you're willing to actually punish the kids. Like, what do the kids actually do? Right? Even if they are horrible parents. But no, seriously, even if they're horrible parents, why are you trying to punish the kids?
Well, hold on, you brought up a perfect point, the education system, don't it? I guess the parents should have took it and went to college, did something with their life. It's their fault. So you're blaming them for that.
Yes, but you're punishing the kids for.
No, hold on, I'm asking a question. I'm just asking, so yes or no, is it their fault for not taking the education out, which was provided for them to do something with their life? Yes or no?
College is free, so I don't know.
Also, that still doesn't
College
justify
is
punishing
those
the
are
kids.
community, no, hold on, first. Community colleges that provide a lot and they work with you. There's many community colleges. They work with you. Yes, it costs money, but that's when you do a job that pays good enough. You go into something with a field that's high demand. You don't be a, oh gosh, you're gonna be ignorant now?
I mean, you understand that, like, again, you're saying that college is accessible to everyone, which is wrong. There are still limitations for some people to get access to college.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so I guess everybody that was on SNAP must have been all uneducated and just couldn't go to college. And whose fault is that?
No, I mean,
Like you said, I didn't pay attention to that.
you're the one that was uneducated specifically. I don't know why you're calling other people uneducated, right? People were specifically on SNAP,
So if they
right? They can be educated,
educated,
but it is the case that they're not paid what they should be paid from our society. Because our society hasn't specifically increased the federal minimum wage since 2009. It's ridiculous. The fact that it hasn't increased is leading to the fact that people are being exploited to a greater extent. Because there are no other options. There are no other options, because minimum wage is going to be established at baseline. Minimum wage should be a living wage.
Also, it's weird that for some reason you guys like to shame people and say, oh, you should get off your butt and work. And then when people get off their butt and find a job, and then if it's not, a high-paying job, then you start criticizing them for not having high-paying jobs. Why is it that every time that someone tries to do something that's positive, you guys move the goalposts and say they're not doing it? You think that everybody has boots to pull on straps,
No, I
but
never said
everybody
that.
doesn't have it. That's literally what you're saying. And again, I still want to know, why are you trying to punish kids? Like, none of this makes sense why you're trying to punish the kids.
Oh, you keep on bringing up kids. I'm not making.
Because you're neglecting that. For you to sit here.
Yes, hold on, that's all, but, yeah, that's all. So, no, the parents have a responsibility and not willing to take on the responsibility and do what they have to do to provide for their own kids. Wow, that's a very terrible parent.
Okay, well then, would you, because of the quote unquote terrible parent, would you specifically say that the kids should starve because of that?
When did I ever say that?
I think that's exactly what you're advocating. You don't want to advocate for these systems.
No,
It's going to lead to starving children.
no. It probably should get, we should probably build up better programs, pull them away
Such
from
as
the
SNAP?
which cannot take care of the responsibility, and then,
So you just want to take away, so everyone on SNAP whose kids rely on this, that would be like it otherwise, you just want to take away their kids? Separate
And that would be
from the children?
that would be 62% of SNAP beneficiaries. So you want to take away 62% of the people who get SNAP benefit, because 62% of people who get SNAP benefits have kids.
I guess they should have done their kids, if they couldn't take care of the responsibility.
Also,
Wow,
should they
that's
have had
fucking
access
crazy.
to abortion? Are you pro-abortion?
Maybe they should have just kept the right. I mean,
Okay,
that's,
so you just tell people to not have sex. Do you have sex? Never?
well, it's called pull out.
I'm sorry, you're an idiot. If you pull out, that's not effective. You understand that leads to pregnancy still, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is very effective. That's a lot. It's very effective on those ones too.
Well,
Yes, it
clearly
is.
not, because if you, clearly not, because it is the case that, like, you understand that, like, there's pre-com, bro, you didn't even know that, you probably had no clue. It is not an effective mechanism to do that, you should use contraceptives, maybe you should have fucking listened in sex ed.
Also,
Well, why did it work for me?
if you ejaculate anywhere near the
Maybe you're infertile, I don't
it can
know.
still travel. Exactly. It can still
But
travel.
genuinely, I don't know, I genuinely don't know, like, at this point, like, you probably could have a kid, and we just don't know.
Oh, I mean, oh, well, I don't know, what I don't know can't hurt me.
What?
What I don't know can't hurt me.
What
Are you just
talking about?
Parker. Oh, I got it. He's just an all-around piece of shit.
Literally,
Not
literally,
just
and he tried to call people more on Snap, right? But he tried to call them bad parents. And yet he is the bad parent. It's such a ridiculous. I don't have to see him, but I know.
Okay, but like, you understand that,
Take on responsibility.
okay, okay. Well, then, you understand that specifically in this context that, you could have a child, right, and it is the case that you could get someone pregnant, especially as a fucking mechanism you want.
Could, depending on a lot of hypotheticals, could.
Yeah, if that's how it can happen, yes.
I could not have a kid, I could not have this. Here's what I have to do.
Well, you have two functional brain cells. You could, but you don't.
Impossible.
Oh, you just,
I don't know if that, I don't know if he can now. I mean, he's completely calm, he just said it's factual safety.
yes, that was factualized.
Like, but literally, you understand that you're taking a forced birth standpoint, right? Where you're sitting here saying you don't want to give people access to
I never
abortion.
said that, I said I'm pro-choice, I said I'm pro-choice, I never said.
You're pro-choice? Okay. So why do you support Trump?
Yes. Also, oh God, I just told you, not everything I agree that he does. Right, I don't have to agree with everything he does to not, to support him or to
Wait,
not.
actually, I have a question. Should women close their legs specifically that have engaged in intercourse with you?
Yes.
So you think that they shouldn't have had sex with you?
Gosh, no, I look down on him. That's why I just do it one night.
What? Dude, you're fucking insane. By the way, should they look down on you for having sex with you? But I'm confused. Why is it only look down on them for having sex with you? Wait, are you saying having wait, did you say having sex with you makes them gross? Doesn't that make you gross?
I mean, it's funny. Oh my God, it's funny. So any woman that allows a man to, yes, I mean, if you really use
A man to use them? Wait, I'm sorry, are you saying that you use women that you engage in intercourse with? Are you saying it's not a consensual engagement? What do you mean by use?
but I usually
Okay, so then you're just an all-around piece of shit. Right? Literally, like you view women as an object. That's what you just said.
well, I mean,
You don't view them with a lot of you view them as a person.
So let's look at the percentage of women that have children and the baby daddy and
You're a certified piece of shit. You are one of those. You are one of those dads. You're a certified piece of shit.
I'm not a pattern.
You very well could be. They probably wouldn't tell you because you'd be a bad influence on the child's life.
Well, I don't see no kids in the picture, so they probably have a boy. But thank God for abortion.
Okay, so yeah. Well, that's ridiculous. I can't believe you just said that. Like, again, you are a certified piece of shit. You view women as an object. You think that is the case that you can specifically just engage in intercourse with them? You don't view them as a person, right? You just said you use them, right, to get a quote unquote you're disgusting piece of shit.
I said, no, oh my gosh, listen, so a woman allowed you to use it. Listen, I'm not saying every woman is, not every woman allowed a man to use it.
No. The fact that you would view engaging in intercourse in that connotation shows us that you dehumanize women that you engage in intercourse with. That's what it tells us. No, you don't view them as people. Because if it is the case that you view them as people, it would be no different than you specifically engage in intercourse. Wait, tell me specifically why it's any different for them to engage in intercourse with someone consensually compared it to you. Why does it degrade their value, but it doesn't degrade your value? You didn't. Wait. You're not answering. Wait. So you let them use it.
Who's to say they didn't?
You let them use you, bro.
Also, I think you just like I just clarified it. You definitely should end with this. There's
I mean,
no.
I still did. That's all that matters. I still did. That's all that matters to you. Still did.
I realize you're just dehumanizing women. You're literally just dehumanizing women. Sick
No, not all.
No, you totally are. You absolutely are. No, you are absolutely dehumanizing women that you're engaged in intercourse.
Any woman that around the ages because
Wait, are you allowing women? Are you allowing women to use it?
well, I mean, me getting like, what all, it's gonna use me, I guess, so.
I don't think so. Then why does it reflect badly on them, but not reflect badly on you?
I never said it, I never said it, never my friend like that.
Okay, so it does reflect badly on you. So then why are you uniquely just saying that specifically for women and stuff?
I would like to see him turn this camera on while he says
Okay,
this bullshit.
I'll change it for you. Anyone that allows any man or woman to use
You. So you.
why would you allow that?
So you.
Correct.
Why don't you ask yourself that question then? Repent on the street right now.
I already know the answer.
Repent.
Already know the answer.
Repent to the Antichrist. Repent right now. Repent to the Antichrist. Do it. Repent. You have had sex with people. Repent. Repent to the Antichrist right now.
Well, I mean, God did say, God did say, spread the seed, so I'm doing, that's what I'm doing.
You just said that you're not doing that because you're pulling out, idiot.
Well, I mean, you said it, or what you said was good, so it would be a good.
So do you want to, apparently you didn't know that before then. Are you just saying that you just figured that out today?
Oh,
I have a
no.
question. Where in the human body does pregnancy occur?
What? Oh my God.
Wait, where in the human body does pregnancy occur?
In the egg.
No, where does pregnancy occur?
In the egg, in the woman.
The pregnancy does not occur in the egg. What the fuck are you talking about?
So we have.
Yeah, pregnancy occurs in the egg. What?
Inside the woman.
Where inside of her?
What do you mean? There's like swimming down inside into her.
Where does pregnancy occur? In the human body.
Swimming down inside of her.
No, where does pregnancy occur in the human body? In the stomach? No, it does not happen in the stomach. You think that you were pregnant in the fucking stomach acid? Just chilling in the acid? You think she was in the stomach just chilling with the food? A hamburger hits him in the face.
What does the woman's stomach get bulged out? It's not in the stomach.
Dude, it's not the stomach, it's the belly, bro. It's the uterus, man. You know the difference between the stomach and the uterus?
So her uterus is in her stomach, so her uterus is in her
No, her uterus is not in her stomach. What are you talking about?
So-
The uterus is not chilling in the stomach acid right next to the hamburger, bro.
Oh, all right, guys, this is the page.
No.
For those who came and checked in, thank you for indulging me in my joy of drawing and illustrating my comic book. I will see you next time on If Japes Drew This. Enjoy.
The stomach is a specific organ in the body. It's not the entirety of your belly. You're talking about someone's belly, bro.